Welcome to NuttieBuddie Entertainment. The Great.
Let's start with The Great. I know, Luke, we're going to start with someone else because, Luke, I think you're going to just bring up greats throughout this entire show like you did with Spider-Man No Way Home. So let's... No, okay. You're just high on life. Let's start with Brian. Brian, what was one of your greats in this episode? I mean, in this series?
My first great off the bat is going to be Kenobi, aka Ewan McGregor. I think he pretty much carried the show throughout. He was the one constant throughout here where I thought it was a really good progression throughout of him, not being able to use the Force in the beginning, not being really wanting to help Leia and her family get her back, and finally finding his way, getting past like what Anakin had turned into, all the way to the end, getting his powers back. I thought he did an excellent job with what he was given, and he was great in this series.
Yeah, I would agree with that. His acting was phenomenal. Can I just add Hayden Christensen as well? It was really nice to see him as well. I think he's part of my great, so I'm just going to add him in there. The relationship, them two on screen, that flashback scene I had as a great. I'm probably taking them all, but those I think encompass both Obi-Wan and Anakin in this series. I thought they both did really well. Chris, what's your first great?
In a vacuum, I think probably the coolest moment in the entire series, even though I didn't really care for the fight, the final duel in general, I thought the moment when he breaks up Vader's mask, and so you see Hayden's face, and then the voice box was going nuts, and it was switching between James Earl Jones voice to Hayden's normal speaking voice to like a weird mix of the two, going back and forth. Just the weird body horror of his nasty bald head. That I thought was extremely cool. Best moment of the series. So that would be a great for me.
Yeah, that was really epic. Anyone else have anything to add to that scene?
Yeah, I almost wish we got to see more of Hayden with the helmet off, but it doesn't really make too much sense as he needs that to survive, basically. But I mean, anytime that we kind of got to see glimpses of him as Vader was just awesome.
Yeah. And this is one of the greats I have with the writing. And this is what I mean. Like there was some great moments and I talked to, I think, Luke about this already, but like how it was the opposite side of the mask that Ahsoka cut off. So Ahsoka cut off, I think, the right side, Obi-Wan the left side, and they were like, and it's like symbolism because if only Luke could take the whole helmet off. So like they had forethought on that, like Ahsoka couldn't totally reach Anakin, neither could Obi-Wan, but Luke could. And I thought that was really cool how they did that. So that was a great writing moment, in my opinion. Luke. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
So is it kind of bad that Vader got like sunned by both of these characters in fights? Like, Vader's supposed to be like, this undefeatable guy. And I guess he's gotten his butt kicked. I mean, I haven't watched the other one with Ahsoka, but you know what I mean? Is that good or bad?
Luke.
He didn't lose to Ahsoka.
No.
That it just happened in the fight scene itself. Which, if you were to argue that Darth Vader should not have lost to Obi-Wan in this case, that is a fair argument that he was a broken man, and if that's a criticism that you have, I get that. I guess for me, I thought
it's not really a criticism. It's just our image of Vader is what it is, and then it's like, oh, he kind of got humiliated. Well, which I guess sort of makes sense in the story, but
right.
I'm just saying
So Ahsoka didn't beat him. She just cut half his mask off, and then he needed to be. She actually needed to be saved from Vader. I think Vader would have killed her.
I did actually in the canon before Ezra changed. I should probably be quiet because this is spoiler territory for
right. We don't want to get too deep into it. And then the other thing with Obi-Wan, we'll talk about that fight scene because again, it was such a great fight scene, but I have my problems with it where there's great moments in it and there was some bad ones.
I actually think it makes sense that he lost. This is still 10 years from where we left off in the other episode, as well as like Kenobi is not fighting Anakin. He's fighting Vader. He does not have the same fighting style as Anakin. He has to be a little bit more aggressive because of his limited mobility with his suit, as well as he has all this robotics and stuff like that. So he's not going to be at the same, level he was as Anakin. So
okay, there was a couple shots though in this where he was moving pretty quick. Like that immediately like clicked in my brain. I'm like, dude's looking pretty spry for a guy in a robot suit. So
that would be the inconsistent writing, I would say.
Yeah. But I mean, also he was moving quick at first, but then as the fight went on, he progressively slowed down because he couldn't maintain that. Where with the fight scene he had with young Padawan Anakin, he maintained that speed all throughout. So I don't know. I thought it was a good progression. I've never thought like Vader. This fight made sense to me just because, Vader still has a lot to learn. And by that last conversation he had with the Palpatine, like he still has this emotion towards Kenobi that we don't see in A New Hope,
Everything Brian just said, I would double down on. I thought that the entire fight, that whole scene, all made sense to me. I know there's things that you don't like about Ryan, we already talked about, but I liked most everything about that from the standpoint of he has a blind spot when it comes to Obi-Wan, which makes sense. The dark side of the Force, when you're allowing that, it's all about emotion. It's like the opposite of how the Jedi are trained. To let your feelings go, don't let them over, think clearly, all the stuff that he's supposed to be doing to make him most effective in a battle scenario. He is throwing all of that out. This is literally the one person he has the most rage for. And this is like his reason for existing at this moment is because he hates this guy and he wants to see all the negative things happen to him. Of course, he's going to have a blind spot when it comes to acting, smart.
I thought that was good. Yeah.
So I loved that. You were asking about specific things about that scene when he's talking to him with his mask off. Sorry, I'm just going to cut into my great. So
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Unless you had something you needed to say, but
no, go ahead.
When Anakin like cracks a smile behind, like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. Like that whole thing that has been missing. You said the comment that was made, I don't know if it was you or Chris, it said like this show, whatever it accomplished and all that stuff. To me, everything about these 6 episodes, I just view it as one thing. It built up to that exact moment, and that moment is like perfect. Like that's like a perfect scene that bridges a gap to episode 3 and episode 4, because it didn't make sense that Obi-Wan Kenobi was just, oh, whatever. Yeah, your father died, Luke. Yeah, what I said was true from a certain point of view. And it's like, how can you say that? Like this guy, because of that scene right there, that made it all make sense to where this guy is completely my Padawan. This guy is gone. He's 100% gone. There is no getting him back. That was also the first time that we've actually seen, like, I guess like a menace craziness from Darth Vader.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like that part though.
This guy is clear.
Yeah.
Evil. This guy is clear evil. All you get from him.
We saw him killing kids in episode 3.
Yeah, like
he was just following orders.
No.
Okay, so real quick,
You never saw that though, Chris, right? Like you never saw the emotion in it. The emotion was never tied to the act.
Right,
but it was right there.
So the bridge you talked about, I thought was fine. The way Yoda talked to Obi-Wan when he was basically like, you got to go kill Anakin. At the end of episode 3, he's like consumed by Vader, you know, Anakin is. That was a fine bridge. I didn't need that explain why, you know, Obi-Wan said that Vader killed his father. Like that was fine. Good enough for me. The other thing though, you said something else, Luke, and I was like, oh, what else did you say, Luke?
I mean, I can repeat myself, but no, it was just that the level of attention that was shown to that scene in that particular moment.
Oh, I know what it was.
Was perfect.
Yeah,
for the whole, that to me, that made the show worth it. Like I didn't really care about the other things that were whatever. I mean, yeah, it was drug out to be. I mean,
well, then they should have made a 15-minute long video and put it on YouTube and saved us the time.
Yeah.
We had to get to that moment.
But here's the thing too, like the other thing I was going to say about him being sadistic, it almost seemed like he was being sadistic in that moment. I didn't like that because that was so like a Joker move to me. Like I thought like every villain needs to be Joker. I thought of Vader as always like a tyrant, like the way he was in episode 3. Like matter of fact, straight face. He wasn't like laughing as he's attacking Obi-Wan and as these things are falling down, like sadistically laughing at things. He was more concise, tyrant. Thanks so much for listening to this clip of the NuttieBuddie Entertainment podcast of the great, the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. If you'd like to listen to the rest of the podcast, go down and click on one of the links below or search NuttieBuddie Entertainment wherever you listen to podcasts. Please also subscribe to our channel, like the video, and comment down below and let us know what you appreciated about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series or what you didn't appreciate. Maybe you're great, good, bad, and ugly. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys next time.